Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the week of February 19th. This week, we're just going to jump right in here. You have this beaver and this dolphin. The dolphin is about blessings coming in for you and also happiness. The beaver is about laying a solid foundation. I'm almost 100% sure that you had the beaver with me recently. So, it seems to me like you are working on building a new foundation. It's kind of like I feel like you're improving a foundation as well for some of you. Like you already have a foundation, but maybe you're adding on a little bit of a addition to your current foundation or something like that is really what I get here. For others, I feel like you're strengthening something. So again, if you have like an establishment in your life, like a business, a career, could even be your relationships as well. I feel like you are doing things to make them stronger, which is great. Obviously, that's a good thing. But let's see. You have the Three of Wands, the High Priestess, and the Sun in your first row here. The Sun is obviously the best card in the deck. It's your card. So whenever you show up as yourself, especially the Sun, that puts you in a position of power and strength, allows you to get what you want from the reading. So we already are off to a great start having the Sun in your first row here. I also feel that the Sun, there's something you have to pay attention to. We go 10 of Wands to the Judgment card right here. That immediately stands out to me as very important in this reading. The Judgment card is like the universe trying to get your attention on something. On the Judgment card, those people are standing in coffins. The coffin represents their old life. Outside the coffin represents their new life. And so there are changes that need to be made, which comes up in every single one of your readings. That it's like there are things from the past that you're holding on to, and releasing those things will lead to just a lot of success. So, there you go. I feel you need to pay attention to your inspirations and like what you are feeling inspired to do. I also feel that you need to trust your intuition. I always say that to me, I feel Leos are like the most underrated intuitives in the whole zodiac. So, I feel like Leos are very intuitive, but they just never seem to get the credit for it, or maybe you always regret not using your intuition. So definitely need to trust your intuition. The High Priestess also says to me that you haven't reached your full potential yet. She has no roof over her head. And the High Priestess is really the card of potential. She represents unlimited potential, but again, she needs to, she's currently dreaming. She's thinking about something that's like mysterious to her, that's like a secret, but she needs to take action. It's time for her to kind of live or create something to its fullest potential. And you have the Three of Wands, which is a card of expansion. So it seems to me like you are expanding something, or you're wanting to expand. Like I said, you're adding an addition to something in your life. And I kind of get that feeling with the Three of Wands. I do feel this is going to be very even profitable for you if this is your business or your career. And let's say you're adding like a new service, or you're just expanding your business or something. Just look at this. You go over to the Eight of Pentacles. I love the Eight of Pentacles. To me, it says you've learned a lot. And it's also showing up in the good stuff. So it's like you've learned a lot, and now you're putting what you learned into practice, and this could be leading to a lot more success, obviously. With the Three of Wands, you have the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is walking away from things that no longer serve you and walking towards something new. So, I feel like you are walking away from things that no longer serve you. With the High Priestess, you have the Nine of Wands here. I think you need to open up to your intuition for sure. I also feel some of you could be attracting a Pisces here. It is popping into my head. So, again, if you want love, I would open up, or you need to open up. I also feel that this person could be a little closed off as well. So there you go. Take that how it resonates. I don't know what else to say there. It looks good if you are attracting, could be any sign. But, if you're attracting someone very intuitive, could be a Pisces, whatever. And but I think, someone has to open up here. The Nine of Wands is, the wounded warrior, but Nine of Wands also says don't give up. So again, if you have big dreams, I feel you need to keep working on those big dreams. With the Sun, you have the Page of Cups. Told you, right here. So there's a fish right there, and the Page of Cups basically says don't let this fish escape. I feel like you already have your eye on this person. You could work with this person, or just based off all the cards that you have here, or I kind of feel like this could be a person you've been through things with already as well. I don't know if that's a good thing. You have the Ten of Wands here, and so going up to the Judgment card, if you've dated a person in the past and it didn't really go anywhere, or it just, maybe you went through something, or were going through something, or they were going through something, I don't think this was ever toxic. And I also feel if this is a person that you already know, like from the past, this isn't like an ex. I think this is just a person where, there were things going on, never really got off the ground. I don't know. I'm getting a million freaking messages here on in this area. So, it could be any sign. The other thing is that, again, don't let the fish escape right here. So the fish could represent a dream. It might not even be real. I always say that we don't know if that fish is in his imagination or, if it's something that actually exists. So I feel that there is part of your dream that you need to go the distance on. You have it right here. So you have this peace card and this go the distance card. The go the distance card just says go the distance. You get to the finish line, you'll find success. I also feel that you're building something, or you'll be creating something that brings you a lot of peace. I almost feel like you've been in a period of time where you've just been working, but it hasn't been like efficient work necessarily. There are times in life where I feel like we have to work hard and all this other stuff, but I almost feel like this reading is saying it's time for you to work less. It's not even about working less. I think it's about, working smarter and doing things that are more efficient and focusing more on the stuff that you're actually good at and getting people to, especially if you have a business, getting people to do the things that you're not good at. If you are in career or whatever, it's like I feel you could be just more focusing on doing the things that bring more success into your life. Or, it's like you're trying to double down on the activities that work and get rid of the things that don't work. And, obviously this is a good thing. You have the King of Wands, the Ten of Wands, and the Eight of Swords. I kind of feel like the King of Wands is you. I read the King of Wands as Aries in the tarot, but again, doesn't matter. Fire energy. I feel that you are just showing up in the reading as your energy, fire, and this is leading to a lot of success. The King of Wands is very bold, assertive. He is very entrepreneurial as well. Again, I always say you don't have to have a business to work with the King of Wands. The King of Wands is about nurturing something into existence. So whatever it is that you're working on, treat it as if it's a baby, or a garden, right? Like you really nurture something with that card. You have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands tells me that you're at the end of a long journey. Again, Ten of Wands, he's about to reach his home right here. And that is his home. He is carrying his harvest. He planted those wands and he's about to have a harvest. So he has been putting a lot of responsibility. He has been putting a lot of work into the things that he's working on, but he's about to get his reward. And this is what I feel like you've been doing for years. For the past many years, I feel like you've been putting all this work in to build something, and now I feel you're getting better rewards, or I feel like there are ways to do what you're doing and get bigger rewards or, more recognition. I feel it's going to require change, but, again, which is always the lesson for Leo. But if you make the change, you'll be more successful. As always, you have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is only seeing one way of doing things. You get this card with me literally since the beginning of time. I've been reading on this channel for over 9 years now, right? And since the very beginning, you've been getting the eight. I used to only read playing cards, and you would always get the Eight of Spades. And then even when I moved on and started reading tarot on this channel, you started getting the Eight of Swords. So I do feel it's time for you to kind of like open up to other ways of doing things, right? I feel it's time for you to see that there are many ways to do whatever it is that you're trying to do. And it's like the second you open up to other ways of doing things is the second you will become much more successful, Leo, for sure. So let's see. With the King of Wands, you have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords, again, self-imposed restriction. I think you need to answer a call here, right here. So this could just be you experimenting. I think that experimentation, we are in a time of experimentation. I'm telling you right now, I've been saying this for 2 years now, that Pluto in Aquarius is going to be really amazing for experimenting and trying new things. It just says, come up with an idea. If you want to improve your health, your business, your relationships, whatever, come up with an idea and try it. Whatever works, double down on. Whatever doesn't work, get rid of. And I'm telling you, the people who do that are going to be very successful. With the Ten of Wands, here you go. All your hard work is paying off here, Leo, is what this reading is saying to me. I also feel like either you find someone very attractive or they find you very attractive. So I would go for it in love as well. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Ace of Wands. You end with this Yang energy card, which always reminds me of the Ace of Wands as well. The Ace of Wands is a card that says out with the old, in with the new. There's this castle right here that is crumbling. And so the Ace of Wands says there are new opportunities, or there are new directions you can move in your life that will lead to more growth, more abundance, more happiness, more everything. So I would be moving in those new directions with the Ace of Wands. Looks really, really good. Next, in the area of what's coming towards you, you have this fox and this hawk card. The hawk is about being a visionary and seeing, almost like seeing the future. And so I feel for a lot of you that you probably have very visionary, futuristic ideas. And I'm kind of getting like two things here. Number one, how can you make those ideas more digestible? I think that this happens to a lot of people, especially people who are very intuitive. It's like you have these very futuristic ideas in life in general, could be in your personal life or whatever. And it's like nobody understands those ideas because they are so futuristic, right? And so what happens is when people are like this, like you, when you have these futuristic ideas, I think the problem is that you start to get discouraged because either the time isn't right, the technology doesn't exist for you to, launch your ideas or for you to express your ideas, or you just don't know what to do or how to, or again, people say things to you and you get discouraged. And I think the trick is like, how can you take your, visionary, futuristic ideas and how can you make them more digestible for people to understand right now? Like maybe you just, and literally that could just say that instead of sharing your idea, you just kind of sit on it and you write it down. Don't lose your ideas. They're probably going to lead to a lot of success, but you write it down and you think about it for a period of time. Like maybe you just need to brainstorm the idea itself and say, okay, this is very futuristic. Whatever your idea is, I have these crazy ideas for the future, but it's like, how can I break this down into a tiny little piece that people can digest, or my employees can digest, or my, or how can I make it something that I can take action on right now? And I would be asking yourself those questions with these futuristic ideas. Again, this could be love as well. Like you might be interested in a person who's out of reach. Like, I kind of get vibes here of being with someone long distance or something. And maybe your futuristic idea is that you marry this person, but obviously if you say that to a person, they're going to run away. And sorry if no one's ever told you that before, but it's like, how can you start small? And I kind of feel that's what the hawk is saying. The fox is about kind of like cunning and stealth. The fox is about blending in, and I do get this energy for Leo. I don't think we should ever not be authentic. I think authenticity is going to win big time in during Pluto and Aquarius. We're already seeing it. Just look at YouTube. It's like there are all these people that are trying to have these like over produced kind of productions and things like that, and people are starting to like get annoyed with that. It's funny because I was watching someone the other day. I think it was Modern Millie. She talks about like Instagram and stuff. I was just watching her for Instagram tips. Right there, you go. I think you need to learn something new every single day. Every single day, I learn something new about my business and I implement it. But she was saying like her best videos, her best Instagrams are when she has like no makeup on, when she's just randomly gets an idea, she puts the camera up in her face and she says something, right? It's like not produced. And she says that those are her best performing videos whenever she does that. So, I kind of get that here with the fox. It's like, it's not saying that you have to not be authentic, but I do feel that sometimes in life we have to play the game. We have to understand that, there are certain ways that we can get our point across in work, in business, where we can, be a little bit more, kind of like, again, playing the game a little bit more. I hate to say political, but it's like sometimes in work, it's like maybe we can't step on a manager's toes, right? And maybe there's a way we can do what we want to do and without kind of doing that. And sorry, I'm rambling here, but it's just popping into my head is super important. So that's why I'm rambling here. So if you have a manager that is like a jerk and that will get mad if you step on their toes, it's like, how can you get your point across, or how can you express an idea without making them look bad, which sometimes unfortunately, we have to play that game. But same thing in business as well. It's like, is there a way that you can, match the energy of the people that you're in business with? And I don't know, it's popping into my head as important. You have the Judgment card here. I feel like you're having a lot of wake-up calls, which can be uncomfortable for sure. The Judgment card, to me, kind of sometimes can say that you're in this period where you're having one wake-up call after another, and it's like you're having all these sudden realizations in your life, and it can be overwhelming because you could be like realizing stuff about your health, about your relationships, about your business all at once. You're having this major revelation in your life, and it's kind of like, how do you change so many things at once? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time is the answer. And I really feel that this reading is saying one bite at a time. You have the Temperance card. Temperance is saying patience, or that you need to be patient at this time. But I also feel that you are turning your situation around. It is a card of transmutation, turning one thing into another. I do feel like saying everything you touch turns to gold right now, Leo. So, definitely a good time for you to put your ideas out into the world. You have the Knight of Swords, no rushing at this time. So, again, if I would say like that you should not rush for anything, right? Let's see. With the Judgment card, you have the Chariot. Yes, definitely a victory coming in for you. I think that one bite at a time, things are very overwhelming. I feel this energy too. But I feel things are very overwhelming right now, and which is preventing us from focusing on the tiny little steps that we need to take to get somewhere. So I would focus on the small steps. I would focus on the creating small wins and, all that other stuff. With the Temperance card, you have the High Priestess. So you have the High Priestess twice. There's some sort of mystery that you need to look into here. I feel like there's something that is mysterious to you. Like maybe you're like, how do I get this thing to work in my business? Or how do I fix my health? Or whatever you're trying to do. And the High Priestess says you need to just explore the mystery. You need to go on the journey of exploring it. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Seven of Swords. Do not lie to yourself, is what this is saying. The Knight of Swords, he's running towards the past. And I feel like I've said this to you before. He is running back to his comfort zone, which is the past, this way. And so I feel like you need to go this way. And the Seven of Swords says, you are fully capable of accomplishing something great, but you really have to believe it. And, I kind of feel that there could be a point for Leo where you start something in your life and then you kind of run back, run back to a comfort zone. I feel this is saying push past those moments where you normally would give up on something, and that's where success is for you. You have in the area of the good stuff, you have this Yin energy card and this Yang energy card. So you have both. I feel like this is about knowing when to relax and knowing when to take action. And I feel you've had a lot of lessons over the years where maybe you've taken action when you shouldn't have, and maybe you've not taken action when you should have. So it's almost like you have learned over the years how to take action or how to use your energy. I feel that this is leading to a lot more success. You're very close to success. Eight of Pentacles is material success on the horizon. So I feel like all your hard work is paying off. Just like I said, everything you touch turns to gold is what it looks like to me. But I feel this has taken many years, maybe 20 years. Maybe for the last 20 years, you've been working on something. It's been a long, difficult journey, a lot of ups, but many more downs, I feel, for you. And now you're kind of getting to this point where everything is adding up. So, so really good. I like it. You have the Two of Swords. I really love that you have the Two of Swords in the area of the good stuff, because to me, it's saying that you are opening to more solutions. I always say she's kind of represents this or that thinking, but she has this island behind her, which represents a third place solution. And so I feel for a lot of you that, really what's coming up here is that you are opening up to other solutions to things that you've been dealing with in your life. You have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands says don't give up, and Nine of Wands also says he's the wounded warrior, but he is kind of the card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. And that's how I feel in your reading, that I feel it's time for you to experiment, try new things, and also, one bite at a time. I think you need to start stacking those small wins in your life. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Pentacles. So I feel like there's a lot of success coming in for you. Love it. And your hard work is paying off. With the Two of Swords, you have the Page of Wands. I kind of feel like you are getting ready to go on an adventure. I would encourage you to kind of give yourself more opportunity. Sometimes I think we have to do things to give ourselves more, more opportunities or more options in life. And I feel that's what you're doing here. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Three of Cups. I feel there's a lot of reason to celebrate, and there is a lot of happiness coming in for you as well. So that was like 20 cards that just popped out there. It wasn't a pop out. That was what you call Butterfingers. So let's see. We're going to pull 5 main themes with the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. You have this Decisions card. Every choice that you make, I would pick the new path. If I were Leo, I would only be picking new choices and new things, right? So there you go. You have this Harmony card. I feel like you should be focusing more on peace and harmony and less on like kind of pushing things to happen. So I would say, like, are there more harmonious ways you can make things happen? And obviously the answer is yes, and that's what I'd focus on there. Could also have a Libra coming in as well. You have this Order card. The Order card is about kind of like putting things in order or creating order in your life. And that's what I feel like you're doing here, is that you are trying to create order and out of chaos. I think that, again, one bite at a time. I feel, kind of breaking things down into their smallest pieces is what you need to do here. You have this Escape card. You have the Chariot. This card kind of reminds me of the Chariot here as well. The whole point of the Chariot is to leave something behind. The Chariot has the city behind him, and it kind of represents the fact that he is trying to set himself apart. So he is trying to find a place that is not all the same. The reason he's leaving the city is because everything in the city is exactly the same. And so I feel for a lot of you that this escape card has this chariot on it, and I feel you are trying to set yourself apart. And that's exactly what I would be doing if I were you, Leo. Finally, you have the empathy card. I feel like you are like wanting empathy and, from people just in general. And so, but I feel like you're getting it. You could be attracting a person who has a lot of empathy for you as well. Like a person who's very, kind, caring, nurturing, and all that other stuff. But this looks really good, Leo. I kind of like where this is going. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.